So we can start with our chapter. So we are doing chapter 19, Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the appearance of Sukdev Goswami. Sukdev, as we know, is the son of Vyas Muni. And just a few days ago, we came across a very strange place where, we were told that there are how many Vyas Devs? 16 or 18? 18 Vyas Devs. Vyas is nothing but foundation. Vyas means a foundation. The first Vyas that was there, Vyas Muni that was there, was the person who was the propounder of the Vedas. He exhibited it out in the world. And then the Vyasdev that we know about is the person who split it up into 4. So the person that we are actually talking about over here is the one who split it up into 4 Vedas. So that simple-minded people can understand. Yes, that is Veda. But Vedas have been in existence since time immemorial. It is what we call as the foundation or the base of this, the framework of this universe, the creation framework. So it has been there right from beginning. And Vyas Muni is the person who actually split it up so that every person can then take the swab of that little bit. Now he had a son. His name is Sukdev. Now Sukdev is again creation of the mind. Yes. Sukdev was not created with the help of some, or normal activities. No, he came out from the mind of the divine. The reason for his coming into existence is because this entire text had to be then given to people. Now, idea was that the entire Vedas are there in Srimad Bhagavatam. They are in story form. Everything is in story form for simple-minded people to understand. Otherwise, in our current day and age, if we don't have a storyline in a movie, we don't even want to watch it. Then we'll call it an art film. Imagine Vyas Muni making an art film. Nobody will want to go for his film also. Super flop. So we have Maramari, everything. It's a full complex story, full of love, fights, treachery, you name it. Everything is there in Bhagavatam, right from beginning to the end. And there are lots of villains in it, lots of heroes in it. It's only when you have that you will be able to actually understand the meaning of the Vedas. Otherwise, it's impossible to know the Vedas. So here we have when we ended the last chapter, we have come to know that Parikshit has put that dead snake around the saint's neck, and he has gone back, and when that sage's son comes to know about it, he has cursed him. So the king is very upset about it, and he is definitely on the way towards Parlok Siddharne ke liye. So the only thought in his mind is that I need to do something about it. So what is he going to do, and how does Sukdev come into the picture? Sukta Goswami said, while returning home, the king Maharaj Parikshit felt that the act he had committed against the faultless and the powerful Brahmana was heinous and uncivilized. Consequently, he was distressed. That means there is a guilt in the mind of this king, saying that I am so sorry, I should not have done like this. He was in a samadhi, and a person who is in the samadhi doesn't have any idea about his own existence. It is when we are doing the Nam Japa, or when we are doing this kind of deep meditation, we enter the state of samadhi. When you do the samadhi, nobody knows where they are. The body is only there, person is not there. So you will find that even Ramakrishna Paramahansa, when he was entering into samadhi, his eyes were open, so people have actually gone and touched his eyes to see whether he is alive or dead. And there was no blinking also of the eye. There is no blinking. The breath also is controlled. There is one breath taken every few hours. Basically, samadhi is a state where you don't need to breathe also. You can stop your flow of prana completely and slow it down to the level that you can take one breath after many hours. We do this inhalation, exhalation. You see, you have ever seen a baby breathe? You know, the breathing that the baby does is so fast you cannot even imagine. It's too fast. And in certain cases, when we grow up, okay, I think you also came across that state today in the morning when you presented the saris. Your mother's breath stopped literally. So she got a big shock of her life. What is my son doing? He's giving me so many saris. So that is how it is. When the breath becomes very slow, so you take one breath in maybe 10 seconds or 5 seconds. Here also it's the same thing. Parikshit comes to know that he has done something wrong. Why should I have done that thing? And that is why he's regretting it. He's feeling bad about the whole issue. King Parikshit thought, due to my neglecting the injunctions of the Supreme Lord, I must certainly expect some difficulty to overcome me in the near future. I now desire without reservation that calamity will come now. For in this way I will be free from the sinful action and not commit such an offense again. Our focus in the world is always like this, prayaschit. Prayaschit, we are always sorry for what we do. And then we expect some sort of a reprimand coming from somewhere. तुमने ऐसा क्यों किया? So the teacher comes and gives you two tight knocks on your hand. Put your hands out, and the one patak she will give you. So like that, he is expecting also that God is going to do something to him. He has done something bad. He is expecting कि ऐसा होने वाला है. So that he gets freed from it. The cycle of karma doesn't work like that. You know that for sure. Even if you get two beatings, doesn't solve the problem. Like you might have taken the rubber or the pencil of your nearby, friend of yours, and thrown it outside. Okay. When you get angry, you do all this type of things. Or maybe you take the pencil and break it into two. We have done these type of things as a child. Or you destroy that. That person has written something or drawn something. You tear the pages into bits and say, yeah. Now, if the teacher comes and gives you two tight slaps also, you cannot get that thing back, can you? No, it's destroyed. The item is finished. It's never going to be solved. No way in which this karma can be removed by a reprimand at all. So, it's an offense which you have committed for which the karma is attached. So, even in Christianity, when they say that you're going to burn in the fires of hell, I mean, even if they make a pot roast of you, still the thing is not going to go away. Okay? He puts you in that big cauldron and stirs you right round. Still nothing is going to happen. Because you have done physically to somebody something which cannot be taken away by even 100 punishments to be given. In the Middle East, they give, चाबुक hunter से मारते हैं, public places. I don't think that will ever take away that offense. So here Parikshit is thinking of those things. I am uncivilized and sinful due to my neglect of Brahmanical culture, God consciousness and cow protection. Therefore I wish that my kingdom, strength and riches burn up immediately by the fire of the Brahmana's wrath, so that in the future I may not be guided by such inauspicious attitudes. Human nature is like this. Suppose somebody does something. Okay. Immediately, what do? We think, we should be removed of all those things that are coming to us directly. But that doesn't solve the problem. The problem is what? Suppose, again, we take up the simple case of a person, four people are sleeping on the road and he has driven his Pajero on top of their bodies and they are sleeping, and they are all dead. One side you will say that action was done when the person was inebriated, he is drunk a little, he doesn't know. Or you may say it's a mistake, I'm sorry I made a mistake. You think by you're sorry or I'm saying all those things will take away. Or the third thing is the person says, "Mera sab tum le lo." He's giving that person his wealth, or he's saying that I will give you so many lakh rupees or so many crore rupees. Do you think that will solve it? So taking away the kingdom or giving away so many cows still doesn't take away the sin. It's basically something that has affected the karmic loop, the system. How can giving some money or giving away kingdom? So Parikshit is still under that impression that maybe I can do that. Maybe if somebody takes away my kingdom and all those things, I can get out of this loop. It cannot be done. No way can you get out of it. It's like a simple process where I said, if the husband beats the wife up and gives her some 4-5 slaps, and the wife is quiet, maybe in the future what she does is she separates from the husband. But has the karma gone away? No way. The karma has not been removed. In the next, say, 40-50 years of her life also, she is not with that person. Do you think the karma will go away? No way. Do you think I forgive you? You're saying these words, the forgiveness will happen? No way. Saying someone that, I have forgiven you, I'm not even going to think about you, still doesn't take away the karma. The karma is fixed. It has happened. It has to culminate into the reverse action. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. It's the regular law of karma. So, now that you have got out of that relationship, still doesn't end your relationship. You will have to come back in some life of yours. And you will have to give him those 5 tight slaps. Then only the karma will be equated. Otherwise, no way is it going to get out of it. So, Haji.
What if this life the karma is being equated? Is that why we are suffering so much? That lady is suffering. Is that equation of karma?
No, who is suffering? Some lady.
So you said the wife is beating up.
See, let us say, for example.
The equation of that could be
Correct.
a payback time.
Correct. It is like this. The person has beaten in the first instance in some life. In this life, they are supposed to return back those 5 slaps. He has given back that. But there is an additional corollary to it. No, you are feeling bad. The children were thrown out. There was a court case. Maybe in the last life there was no court case.
So added karma.
There is a pile of karmas which are associated with it, which you are never aware that would have happened. So those are newer karmas that have happened. So any activity that appears is having too many other things associated with it. So it is not in isolation. It will never be in isolation. That is the reason why karmas add up. They don't minus.
It's not linear.
No way is it going to get minused. Okay. So minusing is never going to happen because the only way of minusing it is in different methods. And that methodology can never be understood in our normal way. That is the reason why, how can you get out of this? You can only get out of this through a particular methodology. And that is the reason why the methods are taught to you. Yeah, you can join. Okay. You can keep these bottles there. If anybody wants to drink, you can. Okay.
She can go to the study.
No, of course. Last room. But there is no fan over there. Okay, na? And you can close the door also from inside if there is noise. Alright. So you will find that this activity will never end. The activity that we were talking about is never going to end. It's always going to continue. One life into another, it's a cascading effect is there. The cascade is there. It's not narrowing down. For narrowing down, the techniques are different. I think we have gone through those techniques when we were doing the Bhagavad Gita. In this also there will be some techniques which will be taught to you. So when you follow those techniques, your karmas can get reduced.
So you can never consider that this is a payback time.
No.
You are actually creating more karmas.
No way. You cannot even say that it's a payback time You can only say one thing for sure. Like say for example, when Shumba Nishumba or the Jaya Vijaya, all these people who have kept on coming again and again and again and again, even in the life of Sri Ram and Krishna and you name it, everybody, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. You think their term had ended? No, their term had never ended. It's an ongoing process and it will continue to happen. Because in that particular life they have done so many additional karmas, which is like the Lord is continuously next, 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 as a next आते ही रहता है उसकी life. So there is no way of saying that okay, now this is the final end of it all. No final end. The end will only happen at Pralaya, when the last yuga ends. At that time, everything will go back into its original place, and then it will again start all over again. So no way does it end. So, while the king was thus repenting, he received news of his imminent death, which would be due to the bite of a snake bird, occasioned by the curse spoken by the sage's son. The king accepted this as good news, for it would be the cause of the indifference toward worldly things. Now imagine you are told, in 7 days you are going to pop off, you are going to die. बस आप लोगों के लाइफ में आपने सोचा रहेगा मैं यूरोप जाने वाला हूँ टूर में, ये करने वाला वो करने, सब कैंसिल करना पड़ेगा इंडिफरेंस के साथ. You have to do it. Do you have any option? Your timer is set. 7 days to go. Tick, 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 and it's on. The moment it is on, you don't have a choice. Then what are you going to do? The only thing that you will do, चलो इससे मुर्गी लिया था उसको वापस करो. You know the story which I told you? A Buddha story. That person tells him, you are going to die tomorrow. One person goes to Buddha, and then Buddha he asks, you see, I heard that you are a great astrologer and all that. So can you tell me my future? So Buddha says, okay, I'll tell you your future. Tomorrow at this hour you are going to be dead. The person says, oh my God, why did I come to him? एक तो पहला रिग्रेट आता है कि मैं बुद्धा के पास गया तो मैं क्यों, ये सब अगर सुनने का था तो. But he is now afraid because whatever Buddha says comes true. He's after all God Almighty. So he's very dejected. And then he goes back home. He's trudging back home. So when he's trudging back home, he's thinking, in less than 24 hours I'll be dead. What is it that I should do at this moment in time? तो सबसे पहले तो एक 10-12 साड़ी लेके है ना मम्मी को जाके देता है. वैसे ही है ना, बोलता है कि मैंने वाइफ को अपने कभी फ्लावर दिए नहीं है तो फर्स्ट टाइम दे दूंगा, चलो खुश हो जाएगी. बच्चे लोग के लिए टॉयज खिलौने ये वो सब लेता है. फिर then he thinks किसका पैसा देना है, चलो मैं दे देता हूँ. And he goes to visit his friend and he says, okay, I owed you say 100 rupees, here is 100 rupees. And he is closing all his accounts. He wants to close as many accounts as possible. He has never visited some friends of his or some relatives of his. He will go and say, ठीक है ना. But you can't tell that person I will be dead in less than 23 hours. अभी 1 घंटा चला गया. उसके बाद वो धीरे धीरे he comes back home. He doesn't want to sleep in the night also. He says to his wife, I want to sit and talk with you. Wife is wondering, क्या पागल है क्या आदमी है, आज तक कभी मेरे से बात नहीं किया, सीधा बेवड़ा पी के आके उधर टल्ली हो गया, इधर सो गया, और आज बोलता है कि बात करेगा, आज भी पिया भी नहीं है. Imagine that. So this guy wants to talk. I mean, she has seen him go to the bar and talk to his friends, all bullshit and nonsense about ball games and all those things. But what, football and all that they talk. But here he's talking about all the beautiful things in the world. And next day comes. He's still awake. He has not slept 24 hours. And then he's looking at the clock. अच्छा चलो 4 बजे मैं मरने वाला हूँ. And he goes and lies in his bed. And he waits. 4 o'clock comes and goes away. 4:30 comes and goes away. 5 o'clock comes and goes away. Still he is not dead. He says, now the Buddha must be wrong, I think. I'll go and catch him. कितना मेरे को टेंशन दिया. So he goes and he says, I'll hammer that fellow. And he goes and meets Buddha. And tells him, what nonsense, you are a big liar. You don't understand what nonsense you told me. I am not dead. See, I am alive. So Buddha looks at him and says, do you know how many things you did in the last 24 hours? The lifetime you have been procrastinating doing all those things you have done in 24 hours. You see, when you have this in your life, you will do everything possible if you know that tomorrow you will be dead.
Highest high productivity.
Yes, highest productivity. Even if you have to say I love you to whosoever concerned, वो अभी उसके लिए प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन, कभी वो जो सोच रहा है अभी कैसे बोलेगा, कभी कैसे बोलेगा, वो जाके पहले बोल देता है. फिर किसी को सॉरी बोलने का रहेगा, वो सॉरी भी इमीडिएटली मुंह से आएगा, मेरी सॉरी बहुत सारी दिस. किसी का पैसा लिया है, किसी को बोलना है कि हाँ आई लाइक यू, डिड दिस दिस दैट, सब सब वाइंड अप, सब करने का. बट otherwise we have a habit of procrastination. Now Parikshit has come to know that 7 days is all that are left with him. And already by the time he is gone back, some hours must have gone, isn't it? So he is ready for this. He has no choice. When a gun is kept against your head, you have no choice. You are going to be dead anyway. What choice you have? So he has to have indifference towards worldly things. Maharaj Parikshit sat down firmly on the banks of the Ganga to concentrate his mind in Krishna, rejecting all other practices of self-realization because transcendental loving service to Krishna is the greatest achievement, superseding all other methods. See, even Nam Japa, or for that matter, any other path is not going to give you anything. So even if you try your level best of doing yoga, standing on your head 100 times in a day also, it's not going to lead you anywhere.
Guruji, what if Namajapa is done with love?
No way.
फिर ये तो loving जो I mean, we're talking about love and devotion, which transcends every all other methods.
Yes. Love and devotion is the highest, the peak.
अगर कोई आदमी नामजप कर रहा है, can't he do with love and devotion?
You can do with love and devotion. You will go to Nam Japa only. You will get churned in those letters only. Letters you know, na? We did the letters, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, you are going to get churned in the letters. Maybe you will become a letter in your next life. So there is no way in which you can go anywhere. You are trapped. Nam Japa is also what you are doing. The Nam Japa is focused on one entity. What is that entity? Shiva or Vishnu or Lakshmi or some such type of one, isn't it?
Krishna करेंगे सब.
कृष्णा का कौन सा जपा करेगा तुम? कृष्णा का कोई जपा है? बोलो तो सही.
I don't know.
नहीं. Krishna doesn't have a japa, a name that you can actually say. You know that? So even if you say Krishna, 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 still nothing is going to happen. It's still incomplete. So the japa doesn't happen. So you're still going to be suspended in animation. Suspended. त्रिशंकु हो जाएगा तुम्हारा. ना घर का ना घाट का. So japa also doesn't help. No marg will help. Okay, when you are doing Jnana Yoga, that also, you are only fighting with some words, isn't it? That will not help. Neither does Karma Yoga help. Okay? All these Kundalini and this and that and Tantra, Mantra, Jantra, जो कुछ भी करना है करते बैठो तुम. कुछ नहीं होने वाला. The only path open to a person is Krishna's. So that is the reason why this book is very specific in telling you that whichever path you take, you are going to reach the heaven connected to that path only. You are not going to get released. No way.
One Guruji question.
Haan.
Then is this book discarding all other techniques?
All other techniques are halfway techniques. You see, if you are using a textbook which is only going to teach you till Bachelor of Arts, do you think you are going to use that textbook for doing a Master of Arts? No, no. Yes, no. It's only going to take you till BA. MA के लिए दूसरा book है. PhD करने के लिए. So as you grow higher and higher, the things keep on changing, isn't it? It's going to take you only halfway. If you take a ticket from here to Mysore, you can only go to Mysore, correct or no? Can you go to Mangalore on that ticket? So Mangalore जाने के लिए Mangalore का टिकट लेना पड़ेगा. तो कृष्णा के पास जाने के लिए कृष्णा का टिकट निकालना पड़ेगा. उसका कृष्णा एयरलाइंस इज डिफरेंट, गरुड़ा एयरलाइंस. Yeah.
But other techniques will, I mean, cause a person to dissolve in the Parabrahma, right?
Yes.
It will not reach Krishna, but
No way. The highest is self-realization. See, again I will read the verse. Parikshit sat down on the bank of Ganga to concentrate his mind in Krishna. Consciousness. Krishna's consciousness. That is, what is Krishna consciousness? Supreme divine consciousness. Correct? Which we call as Krishna. Right? That's where he focuses everything. All his energies in that. Rejecting all practices of self-realization. Those who come to me over here, I tell them, there is no self-realization in my world. I'm sorry. If you have come for self-realization, wrong number. Kindly dial after some time. है ना? So self-realization is Mysore तक जाने का. समझ में आया? So rejecting all the practices of self-realization. Because, why is it because? Because transcendental loving services to Krishna is the greatest achievement, superseding all methods. Any method that is there in this world, and any person telling you, you want to reach realization or what? So tell them, sorry boss, no realization, I don't want to. ये बस मेरे यहाँ नहीं जाती. समझे? Got it? Because we are only going halfway. We are not going full way. Right? I still have doubts. Yes.
Buddha reached this state of self-realization, right?
No. Buddha reached nothingness.
He did not reach the Krishna consciousness, right?
He reached nothingness. Where there is nothing. When you become nothing, where is something there? Nothing means you dissolve. अस्तित्व ही नहीं है तुम्हारा. अस्तित्व is not there only, it dissolved. Poof, like that. The creation of Maya. Maya's creation, when they dissolve, can you say it was there? No. It's like a dream, isn't it? When a dream comes and it goes away, where is the dream? Can you say where the dream is? Can you catch a dream? No. It's like that. Dissolves in nothingness. So he dissolves in nothingness. Got it?
So he came from there, he went back there.
I don't know where he came from. Next time when I meet him, I'll ask him. If I meet him, by the way. You can't meet Buddha, no? No, he's dissolved. Some other person will become Buddha now. You can become a Buddha. You can become a Buddha if you want to. You cannot be born as a Buddha. Did you get the difference between the two? You are somebody. From somebody you will become nobody, and then you will become dissolved. Nothing left of yours. Got it? So you can also become that if you want to. Today you are Samrat, and tomorrow you will become nobody. That is possible. Okay. The river Ganga, by which the king sat to fast, carries the most auspicious water, which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord and tulsi leaves. Therefore, the water sanctifies the three worlds, inside and outside, and even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter to this river. What is this river? Ganga. Alright? Ganga comes from the feet of Krishna. Krishna's feet. It emanates from the feet of Krishna. Alright? And it is stuck in the head of Shiva. So where is Krishna's feet? In Shiva's head. Okay. So you will find that divinities arise this way. And Ganga is the purifying river. Where does it emanate from? from the Himalaya, isn't it? Isn't that what I told you? Now there are three stages, 1, 2, 3, in which physically something is there outside, but inside of you also it is there. So in our head also, where is Kailash? Yes, the Sahasrahar is the Kailasha. The entire range of Himalayas is on top of your head, from where different nadis come, isn't it? So Ganga also emanates from the feet of the Lord. So the feet of the Lord is also there on top, by the way. You will wonder, ये इधर बैठ के उधर कैसा उसका पैर पहुंचा? So don't visualize like that. Okay, you will get into trouble. The idea is that the feet of the Lord are on top of everything, from which the rivers come. So the Ganga flows in our entire body. Alright, it flows through our entire being. What flows in our entire body? Okay. The blood, the lymph, everything, isn't it? All those things are flowing in our body or no? It's a system that is there, river system in our body. Exactly the way in which the tributaries and the rivers and Ganga and the Yamuna and the Saraswati and Yangtze Kiang, Wango, सब नाम है अलग अलग. तो चाइनीज रहेगा तो अलग अलग नाम रखेगा, इंडिया में रहेगा तो गंगा गंगा बोलेगा, है ना? So like that there are different names and they flow in our being. They keep on flowing all over the place. Yeah. And what do they contain? It is mentioned over here. What does it contain? It is mixed with the dust of the Lord's feet. You know, feet of the Lord, उसका जो dust है वो, and tulsi leaves. Leaves of tulsi are the purification. You know, when you have to purify anything, suppose you make a prasad, you make an offering, you know, like a sweet, क्या पोंगल, what you call it? Sweet शीरा, क्या बोलते हैं आप लोग उसको? केसरी भात. केसरी भात को सैंक्टिफाई करना है तो 2 तुलसी का लीफ अंदर डालना जरूरी है, हमेशा. भगवान को दिखाने के पहले उसमें लीफ डालो. ऐसे पानी से वो ऐसा करते हैं हम लोग, करते हैं कि नहीं करते? हाँ, तो और वो 2 लीफ डालना जरूरी है. लीफ को पहले क्लीन करना, अपने यहाँ का वेदर खराब है, उसको अच्छे से पानी से क्लीन करके अंदर डाल देना और फिर भगवान के सामने रख देना. Got it? So what we are doing is we are putting water. We are using water or no? Water is purificatory. Purificatory. It purifies. Water is a purifying agent, and tulsi leaves are again the same thing. So when we eat one tulsi leaf also in the morning, you will see most of these brahmanas, they will eat one tulsi leaf and they will show and they will do all these type of things. Why? Correct. So they do the sandhya, the tulsi leaves are used with the water from these rivers. If you go to Bengal or Allahabad and all these places, at least they can use the direct water from the Ganga. Here in Bangalore, maybe BWSSB, thinking that it is chalo, we are using Ganga water only. So that is purification. So it flows through our being. Tulsi is also the wife of Krishna. Only for
one day.
One day, बस one day का ही है. तो इसीलिए एक दिन यूज होता है उसका, next day दूसरा. Every day new. So don't think that yesterday I put tulsi, today it is not required. No, every time you have to put. Got it? Tulsi is required for purification. Okay. Tulsi leaves are called by some other name in English. Basil, isn't it?
Basil leaves.
Yeah, basil. Chalo, theek hai. Basi. So, therefore the water sanctifies the 3 worlds inside and outside. Again, words are used over here which are very, very beautiful. Inside and outside. Just now we said, na, everything is outside as well as inside. We are getting the proof of the pudding here only. The 3 worlds are inside of us. We have described the 3 worlds. Up to here one, below that is another, below that is a third. Correct? Isn't that what we said? So all the 3 worlds are inside of you. The Kailash is inside of you, the mountains are there inside of you, the rivers are there, the planetary systems are there, everything is there inside of you. Even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Other demigods are there. Everybody is there. Lakshmi is there also now. We described where Lakshmi sits. All those things we have done. So they are there. So, and consequentially, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this river. We have to take shelter of this river. That is why when we do the astis, we put the astis in Ganga and all this, okay? And other places also we do. The Triveni Sangam, the Triveni Sangam is the right place to actually do this. Triveni Sangam, the confluence of three rivers, three worlds is in one place. Where is it? Where does the Triveni Sangam start? You know, in Allahabad है ना, Allahabad बोलते हैं हम लोग. इलाहाबाद में है ना एक, और फिर दूसरा नासिक में है, कर्नाटका में भी है. So everywhere, you know, you will find that these Triveni Sangam. Yes, is there. The Kaveri comes from top, no, that somewhere. What is it called?
Talakad.
Kaveri. It flows down. There is one very beautiful town over there, and there the confluence of the three rivers is there. Next to it is one very beautiful temple. It's made in full wood. If you go and see, you'll like it. I don't know what the temple is, by the way. It's a wonderful place to actually go and see. When you are going to Talakaveri, on top of that mountain,
It is Nimishambike temple. Near that there is Nimishambike.
So it's there, some temple is there, but very beautiful. I have visited it, but when I visited there was no water in the river. So what we did is there only in Kaveri only we did little bit of water like this. So there is always Triveni Sangam where we have to put our ashes. Calcutta also there is. Calcutta near Bandel, by the way. There is.
In the body, where is the Triveni Sangam?
Yeah, there are many places in the body. There are many places in the body where the Triveni Sangam happens. It's actually where the three worlds meet. It can happen even in your tongue. You speak all ill from your tongue, isn't it? And you speak all good from your tongue also. And sometimes you don't even want to speak. So we have here also one. You will find that when sometimes we lose our vacha, you know. What? बुद्धि उसके जैसा आवाज नहीं आता है, वो भी हो सकता है. So everywhere things like this Triveni Sangam happens in multiple places in our body where the three worlds meet. So it is there outside as well as inside. See, Godavari river starts somewhere in Maharashtra, Gujarat and all that. So it is coming towards Nasik. So Nasik, there is a point where the three rivers are meeting. Which rivers are meeting? Don't ask me, I don't know myself. And next to it is Trimbakeshwar. Trimbakeshwar. That is it's a very beautiful linga which is inside the ground. You can't see it directly. You cannot see like this. There is a glass kept on top. It is, I think, 3 or 4 stories down. So there is a glass kept. You look in the glass from top and you can see the linga down there. Only the reflection can be seen. It's a beautiful place which you can see Trimbakeshwar also. And everywhere where you go, where this Triveni Sangam happens, there is always a Shiva's temple. Because Shiva is responsible for taking your soul from here to somewhere else, isn't it? He's the god of death also, isn't it? And that is Amaraja. Yeah. Bhima Amaraja Sangam. It's also there, yes. Pandharpur also there is a river, Chandrabhaga. Everywhere it will be some little places. Thus the king, the worthy descendant of the Pandavas, decided once and for all and sat on the Ganga bank to fast until death and give himself the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who alone is able to award liberation. So freeing himself from all kinds of association and attachments, he accepted the vows of a sage. So you can accept the vows of renunciation even on the last day, just before you are dying also you can. Okay. It is not necessary that you have to do it sometime before in life. You can do it even at the last minute or the last moment. It is possible. So what does he do? He renounces everything and he sits on the bank of the Ganga river. Now he is going to do his penance.
But how does one know one's last day? He knows.
He knows. That is the reason why you don't know. That is why not start today only? पता नहीं ना. And any which way, the day you meet your preceptor is the day when your new birth has happened. So you are already on the way, isn't it? Already on the path. And what has happened? When you are given an initiation, your death ceremonies have already been performed. Now in modern day and age, you can't shave your head and all that. बोलेगा पार्लर में जाके हमको काटना पड़ेगा. वो सब करना पड़ेगा. नहीं तो यहाँ पे पार्लर वाली को बुलाना पड़ेगा. वह थोड़ा अच्छे से करना. वो नहीं कर सकते आज के दिन में. So, but today the practices are different. So we don't do those kind of ceremonies out here. Where you have to give away all your clothes and take fresh clothes, shave your head. Okay, and you have to do your own death ceremony, death rites, and after when you do your death rites and then you are given a new name, Swami something something. Okay, so Parikshit must have got some new name or no? We'll find out. At that time, all the great minds and thinkers, accompanied by the disciples and sages, who could verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just by their presence, arrived here on the plea of making a pilgrim's journey. Now remember, we have done this before. The story of Shankaracharya. Okay, why does a person visit a temple? Or why does a person visit a river? To get sanctified? But do you think dirty river over there can sanctify any person? Or the image in a temple can sanctify you? No. What is it that sanctifies you?
Yes.
The sages
Sages.
over there leave their essence behind. That is what sanctifies. We have been talking about this all along, isn't it? It's mentioned over here. Now we see the words again. At that time, all the great minds and thinkers, accompanied by their disciples and sages who could verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just by their presence, arrived there on the plea of making a pilgrim's journey. Got it? And that is what happened when Ganga, when she talks to whom? Who is the person responsible for Pandharpur? Huh? Pandharpur. Whose father and mother had run away. They wanted to go near the river. So
Namdev.
no, not
Namdev.
No. Okay.
Uh,
What? Okay, go. Google search. Okay, what happens is he sees the three rivers coming to Kukut Swami's, ashram, and they come with dirty clothes, and they clean the whole place up. And when they are going back in the morning, he sees them wearing white, beautiful clothes. And he sees them going and entering the river. So he goes to the river and prays to them and says, can I know who you all are? These three ladies who vanished. So all the three Devis, they come out and they say, I'm Ganga, I'm Saraswati, and I am Yamuna. The three of them say. So he asked them the question, how did your clothes change and what is it that happened? वहाँ पे कुछ ड्राई क्लीनिंग का इक्विपमेंट है क्या? Yes, the equipment is Kukut Swami. Got it? When we do the work of the sages, when we touch the feet of the Guru, that time purification happens. So when the sages put their feet in the river, that time the river becomes pavitra. Got it or no? The river is the dirtiest river. If I tell you to drink a glass of Ganga water, no, you go to that Triveni Sangam and take one glass of water and drink it and show me. Okay. Maybe dirty water. So many dead bodies, so many, everybody is sitting in the river and washing clothes and all dirty stuff is going on. Yuck. You won't even touch chemicals. Chemicals, yes. All the effluents of all the places right from top to bottom. You won't even touch that water. But when the feet of these gurus, of these sages, when they touch the water gets sanctified, gets purified. That is what even Shankaracharya said that. So this is written over here. So now after this you will not ask me that. But it is there in the book. From different parts of the universe, there arrive great sages like Atri, Chavana, Saravdan. I don't want to name all these people. Vishwamitra, Angira, Parshuram. All the sages came over there. And what do? They are going to sanctify the place. Including Narad. Narad Muni is the highest Bhakt. Remember, the highest in Bhakti Marg, the greatest of the sages is Narad. So right from top to bottom, everybody landed up over there. There were also many saintly demigods. Saintly demigods are there. Demigods, all these gods that are there. They also came. Kings and special royal orders called Anurdayas. That is the special ranks of Raj Rishis. We have done Raj Rishis also. Those who teach the kings. Yes. They also came from different dynasties of sages. Now you will wonder, how come all different dynasties of sages, where they will arrive? Time is a factor which we have already discussed. In our world, the time is linear. And today is Sunday, tomorrow will be Monday, then Tuesday, then like that it will go on. But when this is happening, time is not linear. It is circular. Okay? Circular. Like that. When it is linear, you can go from one place to the other. When it is circular, from the center, you can go anywhere you want. The radius is the same. So suppose if I take the entire universe like this, at the bottom is 300 AD, here it is 1950, and here it is say 4050. I am in the center. Can I move to all these places simultaneously? Of course. And like this I can do. But if I am traveling in a straight line,
We have to be sequential.
yes. Somebody is dead. So, all these demigods, kings and royal orders, they also came. When they were assembled to meet the Emperor Parikshit, he received them properly, bowed his head to the ground. We have to do these rituals, these type of things which are necessary. When a person comes in, wish them, put them, wash their feet, so on and so forth. Today washing feet and all is not possible. मेरा घर में पानी नहीं आया. वहाँ से शुरुआत है हमारा.
Why did so many people come for this Parikshit?
Because which storybook actually written? See, everybody likes to go, Now, August 8th or 9th, Chennai Express is getting released. Don't you want to see on the first day, first show? I would like to go and see. Even Raj will say, yes, I also want to see. Senthil, तेरे USA में है कि नहीं मालूम नहीं.
He already booked the ticket.
Oh, he's already booked the ticket. Brito has already booked the ticket.
Not the club board is booked.
So like
Parikshit so great that all these people came.
No, Parikshit is not great. Parikshit is a Zariya, mark,
Great job.
pathway. Correct? You go for these 15th August ceremonies or no? Now nobody goes, but otherwise in school, teacher will say 15th August, everybody has to wear clean uniform. Otherwise, full week you are wearing dirty uniform. Or that day clean uniform. Tie has to be ironed. कभी जन्म में tie को iron नहीं किया, लेकिन उस दिन जरूर iron करेगा. White shoes, white socks, clean white होना जरूरी है. Otherwise, the rest of the time your socks, white socks are brown in color, isn't it? But on that day, white socks, white shoes, and your mummy will, बराबर ऐसा comb in करके देगी. Yes, everything is perfect. Why? Sir, the commissioner is coming. He is going to do Janda Vandan in my school. The commissioner is not great. The occasion is great. It is the occasion which we are doing. So here also, Parikshit is a Zarya. Is just one commissioner who has come to inaugurate. We are using him. The Parikshit was used as a way of reaching some destination. Somewhere you have to go. That is what. So, after all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast unto death. He is going to fast unto death. 7 days, time is up. So before that he says, I will do fasting. Maybe I will reduce another 20 kgs. I will be fit enough to run to heaven. So, the fortunate king said, indeed, we are most grateful of all the kings who have trained to get favors from the great souls. Generally, you sages consider royalty as refused, to be rejected and left in distant places. Do you remember I said, if somebody comes to Krishna with a very big garland, lot of gifts and all those things, Krishna doesn't give a damn. I told you this. But if you go with 2 leaves of tulsi or 1 flower, 1 rose, that is the greatest gift you can give Krishna. 2 leaves of tulsi is all there. 1 leaf also is enough. So, all these rishis, they look at all the kings and all as dirt only. उनके पास जाते नहीं है वो. So you will find that gods will never want, gods with great sages and all, they don't honor the rich. They don't. Okay. Only the fake people around, they will say, okay, how much he has paid? Okay, 20 lakhs. Okay, give him 20 minutes of time. Guruji is going to see him for 20 minutes. Oh, this fellow is given only 5 lakhs. Guruji is given only 5 lakhs. Okay, 5 minutes. After everything is over, 5 minutes. People dole out time like this in India. No, that is not how it is done. The one who doesn't have anything is the one to whom the Lord goes to. Because if you remember, we were doing one story. That particular person doesn't have anything to offer except that avrekai. Isn't it? Huh? And he says, I'm going to give you a sabji of that, curry of that, with the rice you eat it. He calls a guru, Srimad Vallabh, isn't it? Srimad Vallabh is called by this great, this very poor person, and he is offered this sabji and that. And he eats it, finishes the whole meal over there, and walks out of the house. He removes the entire plant and goes away. Uproots it out, he removes it from the ground. The wife of that person says, what kind of a guru you have? He is an idiot. जो खाया उसमें ही छेद करके चला गया. देखो. Yes, that avrekai is the only means of sustenance. And how your guru is such an idiot man, he's removed everything and gone. So he says, you don't know guru's ways. So he takes one big pahar and he starts digging so that putting back the tree. When he does that, it hits an object. And when he opens up that, it is a sanduk. When he opens, there is a lot of gold coins in that. And then he tells his wife, now see, my guru is like this, he is not like what you think of. Correct? So when these people, these great sages will only go to those who are good at heart. not to rich people and all. They don't go. Okay, if they go, they will go with one big चंदा का book. बोलेगा कि तुम कितना देने वाला है, चलो. Oh Brahmana, just accept me as completely surrendered soul. No, I think I missed. Is it? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of both transcendental and the mundane world, has graciously overtaken the form of Brahmana's curse. Due to my being too much attached to family life, the Lord, in order to save me, has appeared before me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself from the world. This is a very beautiful line. Let me tell you this line in detail. You know, there is no way in which you want to detach yourself from your family. No way does a person ever want to detach himself from the family, the worldly life. मैं कहाँ पे नौकरी कर रहा हूँ, मैं क्या, मेरे बच्चे कहाँ जाएंगे, मेरी बीवी कहाँ जाएंगी, मेरा हस्बैंड किधर जाएगा. This is all that we are bothered about all our life. We are constantly attached to our family. So he says, God has given this curse as a very beautiful thing. I am forced to take sannyasa. Otherwise, you think the person will move his ass or what? He won't even lift his finger. And he will say, no, tomorrow I will see. Maybe I'll watch Chennai Express after that. After that, maybe. And then he will say, no, Salman Khan ka picture aa raha hai, wo dekhne ke baad. No? So you are going to have extended, extensions. Sir, can I get some more extension? So here, due to my being too much attached to family life, the Lord, in order to save me, has appeared before me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself from the world. So this fear has come of removing myself. That death, the fear of death has come. 7 days is all. My time is over. So I have to go. Oh Brahmana, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul and let Mother Ganga, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in the way. For I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord in my heart. Let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu. Again, offering obeisance to all you Brahmanas, I pray that if I should take my birth in the material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, associate with his devotees and friendly relations with all living beings. Now he is not sure whether he is going to get moksha or no. You see, we are still not sure. Even if you say Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna, end में मोक्ष मिलेगा कि नहीं मालूम नहीं. That is only in the hands of the Lord. Okay. ज्यादा मस्का मारेगा तो नहीं मिलने वाला है. तो कैसा मिलेगा उसका क्राइटेरिया ही नहीं है. Criteria for selection is not there at all. So he keeps his options open and he says, see, if I come in my next life, at least let me take the name of the Lord only. Then other things I don't want to. And can I be associated with the devotees of the Lord? This is a very beautiful thing which you have to know. That satsanga is very, very important. With the devotees of the same Lord, Krishna. So everybody is a Krishna Bhakt. When they come together, you should know for sure that after this you don't have anywhere to go. Did you get my answer? You're not listening? No.
What is
Satsanga. Those who are doing the prayer to Lord Krishna. And those who are the devotees of Krishna, when they all come together, devotees of Krishna will all come together at one place only, isn't it? So, where that is happening, where the Lord Krishna's name keeps on coming continuously, that is the place where the devotees are gathered. And then when you are talking only of one person, isn't it? Nobody else. When you are talking of only one person, and friendly relationship with all living beings. घर में जाके वीर के साथ अच्छे से रहने का क्या फ्रेंड लोग को बोलने का अच्छे कैसे है ठीक है ना ओके फाइन झगड़ा नहीं करने friendly relations with other people, but with the devotees, association with devotees. They are associated to the devotees. All the devotees come together of Lord Krishna. That's what it means. Okay. In perfect self-control, Maharaj Parikshit sat down on the seat of the straw, with straw roots facing the east, placed in the southern banks of the Ganga, and he himself faced the north. Just previously he had given charge of the kingdom over to his son. Remember why facing north?
So we don't face the south.
Yes. So that yes. The north is always that side, that side. First one, yeah, that will put that on. And yeah, the third one will put this on. Yes. It will take time. It's like me. Okay. Thus, so what does he do? He keeps the mat in the east position. The mat, if you remember in the Bhagavad Gita, we have done what are the things that we have to do. Pusa grass, mat of pusa grass and all that, we have done that, isn't it? So we do that, we put it over there, facing north. Facing north. North Pole. So, that's the king. But how he had done this, before that he had handed over the charge. When you do your sannyasa, you have to hand over the charge. You have to tell your son or your eldest child, you say, now I hand over the charge to you. Yes. You have to hand over the charge. Like when you leave your company, you are going to hand over the charge to the next person, isn't it? Then when you got to hand over the charge. Now somebody has to take care of the family. So, thus the king. Maharaj Parikshit sat to fast until death. All the demigods of the higher planets praised the king's action and in pleasure continuously scattered flowers all over the earth and beat celestial drums. All the great sages who are assembled there also praised the decision of Maharaj Parikshit and they expressed their approval by saying, very good, bahut achhe, wah wah, like that. Naturally, the sages are inclined to do good to common man, for they all have the qualitative power of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, they are very much pleased to see Maharaj Parikshit, the devotee of the Lord, and they spoke as follows. The sages said, O chief of all the saintly kings of the Pandu dynasty, who are strictly in the line with Lord Sri Krishna, it is not at all astonishing that you give up the throne, which is decorated with the helmets of the many kings, to achieve eternal association with Krishna. We shall all wait here until the foremost devotee of the Lord, Maharaj Parikshit, returns to the supreme planet, which is completely free from all mundane contamination and all kinds of lamentations. Which is the place which is free from all these lamentations? We give the name of that place earlier in this book. It's called Golok Vrindavan, isn't it? So he has to go over there. That is basic idea, is to go over there.
He's from there only.
He's going to go over there. Ticket nikala hai, one-way ticket. Only one-way ticket, no return. Okay. टिकट निकाला रहेगा, पासपोर्ट और वीजा नहीं रहेगा तो कैसा पहुंचेगा? पासपोर्ट रह सकता है, वीजा नहीं है तो बहुत तकलीफ होगा, वो एंट्री नहीं देगा वहां पे, है ना? So you need all these things in place. So what? Ticket निकाला बोलेगा तो first you know that you have to go to Krishna. This much is for sure. Ticket means final destination is sure, correct? Otherwise, you go to airline office and मेरे को एक टिकट देना, बोले किधर का भी दे, ऐसा नहीं चलता है. You have to give destination of that place, isn't it?
Platform ticket.
बोलेगा कहाँ का टिकट चाहिए? तो first ticket is important. That means you know where you are going, isn't it? So how do you know where you are going? Golok Vrindavan is the place where we have to go first. That much is for sure. So ticket निकाल दिया. So we have decided where we want to go. Second, we need a passport. Correct? तो टिकट निकालने के लिए भी पासपोर्ट नंबर देना पड़ता है, नहीं तो वो टिकट नहीं देगा तुमको. Correct है? So passport means what? Are you doing your sadhana or no? Sadhana is important, isn't it? Sadhana means, are you doing everything that is necessary? All clearances, government clearances and all that, without which passport is not issued. So all the cards, this, that, everything has to be in place. Once that is there, then the country has to issue you visa. So Krishna himself has to give that stamp of visa, otherwise no entry. So only when you have the visa from his side, can you enter. Otherwise, you will be persona non grata in that country. Correct? You will have to stay in the airport only. You can't enter the city. Like Mr. A person who is there in Russia, no, Moscow. I don't know where he is now.
Snowden.
What's his name? Snowden. Snowden is over there. So you will become a persona non grata. You will not be allowed to enter any country. Like that, you know, if you don't have visa for Krishna's Golok, then he is not going to take you there. So, that is why all that was spoken by the great sages was very sweet to hear, full of meaning and appropriately presented and perfectly true. So after hearing them, Parikshit desired to hear the activities of Lord Krishna, and then congratulated the great sages. So he asked the sages, can you please tell me about Krishna? I want to know about him. Can you please tell me about him? The king said, O great sages, you are all very kindly assembled here, having come from all parts of the universe. You are all as good as supreme knowledge personified, who resides in the planet above the three-world Satyalok. Consequently, you are naturally inclined to do good to others, but for this you have no interest either in this life or the next. O trustworthy Brahmanas, I now ask you about my immediate duty. Please, after proper deliberation, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances, and specifically of those who are just about to die. There are certain duties that you need to perform before you are dying. And in today's day and age, what is the most important duty? तुम जाने के बाद किसी ने झगड़ा नहीं करना चाहिए, इसीलिए क्या करने का रहता है? विल बनाने का,
प्रॉपर्टी,
आप प्रॉपर्टी का बराबर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर दो, और अगर गलत डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन किया तो तुम्हारे मैयत के लिए कोई आने वाला नहीं है, बोलेगा म्युनिसिपैलिटी को बुलाएंगे. So do proper distribution, all those things. So like that, like we have duties in the material world, in the same way, like you will be asked, वो चेक साइन करके रखा क्या जाने के पहले? वो भी पूछने वाले हैं लोग. Okay, so here the thing is that it will be asked, so you have to find that out. So he says, can you please tell me what is to be done? We will finish this today because we have come to the end of it. So it is just a few more lines. So we will finish this. Okay. For trustworthy Brahmana, we have finished this. At that moment there appeared the powerful son of Vyasdev, who travelled over the earth disinterested and satisfied with himself. He did not manifest any symptoms of any belonging to any social order or status of life. He was surrounded with women and children, and he dressed as if others had neglected him. Most of the time he was not dressed at all. He was an avduta. He used to roam around naked all over the place. If you remember, there was a story of Sukhdev which we did in the beginning. Okay?
Yes.
When Vyasdev comes in front of all these women who are taking bath, they all dukki lagao. And when Sukhdev comes, they are all coming out of it, no problem. So that story we have already finished. So here Sukhdev is coming, but he is wearing only tattered clothes. There are women and children all coming with him. They are following him. The son of Vyasdev was only 16 years old. His legs, hands, eyes, arms, shoulders, forehead and other parts of the body were all delicately formed. His eyes were beautifully wide and his nose and ears were highly raised. He was very attractive face and his neck was well formed and beautiful like a conch shell. He was a very handsome guy. Okay. His collarbone was fleshy, his chest broad and thick, his navel deep and his abdomen beautifully striped. His arms were long and curly hair was strewn all over the beautiful face. He was naked and the hue of his body reflected that of Lord Krishna. It's a form of Krishna, by the way. So he was not dressed at all. And if you ever see, even my guru wears only one loin cloth. He doesn't wear anything else. There is no cloth on his body, by the way. So as an avduta, he just roams around here and there. In the same way, this person is also an avduta, Sukhdev. So he was dressed like this, but he was very handsome, good to look at. He was blackish and very beautiful due to his youth. He was dark skinned. Because of the glamour of his body and his attractive smiles, he was pleasing to women. Though he tried to cover his natural glories, the great sage present there were all expert in the art of physiognomy, and so they honored him by raising from their seats. What does physiognomy mean? You see, I'm sure you have done it, methods. When you look at a person's body, you can say, अच्छा उसका नाक बराबर है, तो पैरेट के जैसा नाक है. बोलते हैं कि नहीं बोलते हम लोग? हाँ, दांत देख कैसे एक है, आँख कैसा है, एक लंदन, वन गोइंग न्यूयॉर्क, ऐसा क्रॉस साइड भी होता है. So eyes have to look good, nose is to be perfect, chin is perfect, hairs are good. ये सब होना चाहिए. तो फिजियोग्नॉमी पूरा हुलिया का स्टडी. So when you see a good person, if you remember, we have done Ashtavakra. He was bent in 8 places, correct? I told you, people, those who have physical or mental or other deformities are not, it is mentioned in one of the very beautiful books, they are not suitable for reaching a certain location or destination, isn't it? They are falling short because of these problems. They have done something in their previous life because of which they are not allowed to have this good appearance. So the person is good looking. That is the idea. Parikshit, who is also known as Vishnu Ratha, who is always protected by Vishnu, bowed his head to receive the chief guest, Sukdev. At that time, all the ignorant women and boys ceased following Srila Sukdev. Receiving respect from all, Sukdev took his exalted seat. Now he is the highest of the sages, so he was given a place higher than all the sages. Sukdev Goswami, then surrounded by saintly sages and demigods, just as the moon is surrounded by stars, planets and other heavenly planets, his presence was gorgeous and he was respected by all. The sage Sukdev Goswami sat perfectly pacified, intelligent and ready to answer any question without hesitation. The great devotee Parikshit approached him, offered his respect by bowing before him and politely inquired with sweet words and folded hands. The fortunate King Parikshit said, O Brahmana, by your mercy only you have sanctified us, making us like unto places of pilgrimage, all your presence here as my guest. By your mercy we who unworthy royalty become eligible to serve the devotee. Simply by our remembering you, our house becomes instantly sanctified. And what to speak of seeing you, touching you, washing your holy feet and offering your seat in our home. This is a very strange thing which you have to know. The sages, when they go to the people's houses, the houses get sanctified. Even by taking their name in somebody's house, in your house also, if you take the name of the sage, the place becomes sanctified. Or Sone Pe Suhaga, when he himself comes to your house, it is sanctifying the place. So that is what Parikshit is telling him, that we are feeling so fortunate and so humbled by your presence over here. And what do? They offer him a place to sit, they wash the feet, that is what we call as a tirtha. All that is done, and then you are offered a seat in their home. Just as an atheist cannot remain in the presence of Krishna, so also the invulnerable sins of man are immediately vanquished by your presence, O saint, O great mystic. So most of the sins get washed away. Lord Krishna, who is very dear to the son of King Pandu, had accepted me as one of those relatives just to please his great cousins and brothers. If you remember, in the past we have done Mahabharata and all those stories. If you remember that, Krishna was a very distant relative of Pandavas. Yet he was involved in the great war of Mahabharata, isn't it? Kurukshetra. So he has taken that challenge and he has become their relative. So he is saying, I am thankful that Krishna has been my relative. Otherwise, without being inspired by Lord Krishna, how is it that you have voluntarily appeared here? Although you are moving incognito in the common man, are not visible to us who are on the verge of death. And this is how it always is. You cannot see the sages, by the way. Officially, with your eyes, you can't see the sages. You need to have divine vision. Then only you can see them. Otherwise, you can't see them. Aaya gaya, koi pata nahi kaun aa gaya, kaun gaya. When we visited that place over there in Kamarati, the entire entourage stays over there. They all visit, and if you have the the power to see them, you can actually see them. Okay. We are the spiritual master of great saints and devotees. I am therefore begging you to show the way of perfection of all persons, especially for the one who is about to die. Please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember, and worship, and also what he should not do. Please explain to me. O powerful Brahmana, it is said that you hardly stay in a house of men long enough to milk a cow. Remember that he doesn't stay in that house for a very long time. He stays only till you give him that little glass of milk. After he takes the glass of milk, he is chewed. He goes away from there. That's how Sukdev is. So he is now come over here. Sutta Goswami said, the king thus spoke and questioned the sage using sweet language. Then the great and the powerful personality, the son of Vyasadeva, who knew the principles of the religion, began his reply. Thus ends Bhakti Vedanta to support purpose of first canto. And this is where we have ended this entire book, the first part of it, which is the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. If you have any questions, you can ask me. So, any questions so far? So, we are going to start the second book over there, which is going to begin the different stories. Now, we have just entered with two main characters. Two main characters are, one is Parikshit and the second is Sukdev. So now Sukdev is going to start telling in the stories. But in the first chapter, when we begin, it's going to be an introduction where he's going to tell you about why this is important, what is so necessary. All that is very important to understand. Okay. So, any questions?
सुखदेव के devotees नहीं आते हैं.
सुखदेव 16 बरस का है.
He does not have devotees.
16 बरस की बाली उम्र को सलाम, ऐसा गाना गाएगा वो. क्या यार, वहां पे 16 बरस का लड़का है, एक जगह पे पानी पीने तक के लिए नहीं रुकेगा, बस ऐसा दूध पिया चला गया. He doesn't stay for long. He doesn't stay anywhere for long. He doesn't have devotees like this. His only job in this world is to recite this entire Srimad Bhagavatam. That is his only job. It's an avatar of Krishna himself. That's why if you have seen, the description of Sukdev matches that of Krishna. Have you noticed it or no? Physical appearance of Sukdev matches that of Krishna. It is one of his avatars. Because he has to now tell the story. His own story actually. But is now going to be told through the mouth of Sukdev. Right? And Sutta Goswami is the person who is going to give us the recitation of it when he is going to teach all the sages who are sitting in front of him. Right? So, any other questions? No? So we will take your leave and